Ancient Egypt was a civilization full of wonders, mysteries, and practices that continue to fascinate the world today. From their reverence for cats to their unique methods of contraception, the ancient Egyptians developed customs that were both advanced and bizarre. These practices reveal a culture deeply rooted in tradition, religion, and ingenuity. Today, we're diving into 10 of the most peculiar aspects of ancient Egyptian life. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Let's get started. Number 1. Cats and mourning. In ancient Egypt, cats were not just pets. They were revered as sacred animals, seen as protectors of homes from pests and evil spirits. Cats grew to embody divine qualities, especially linked to deities like Bastet, the goddess of home, fertility, and protection. When a cat died, it was a significant event. Owners would shave their eyebrows to signify mourning, an act that showed respect and grief for the loss. Cats were often mummified and buried with jewelry and offerings to ensure their passage to the afterlife, pleasing the gods they symbolized. This tradition highlights the unique bond between Egyptians and their feline companions, showing how deeply they cherish these creatures. Number 2. Contraceptives and menstrual practices. Ancient Egyptians had innovative, albeit unusual practices for reproductive health. Women would use crocodile dung as a contraceptive, believing it formed a physical barrier to prevent conception. The alkaline nature of the dung acted similarly to modern spermicides. Men, on the other hand, sometimes applied onion juice to their genitals, aiming to induce sterility. Menstrual blood was also regarded as a powerful substance, used in rituals to protect mothers and newborns from evil spirits. These practices reflect a fascinating blend of science, magic, and tradition, showcasing the complex approach Egyptians had toward health and fertility. Number 3. Fertility tests. To test fertility, Egyptians employed peculiar methods. One involved applying oil to a woman's body and observing its freshness by morning. If still fresh, she was deemed fertile. Another method was inserting a garlic clove in the vagina overnight. If her breath smelled of garlic the next day, it was seen as a sign of fertility, indicating a clear connection between her reproductive system and the rest of her body. Women also urinated on sacks of barley and wheat to determine pregnancy. If the grain sprouted, it confirmed pregnancy, with barley growth indicating a boy and wheat a girl. Recent studies suggest these methods had about a 70% success rate, reflecting an early understanding of human physiology. Number 4. Shaved heads to prevent lice. In ancient Egypt, the intense heat and prevalence of lice made life challenging. To combat this, Egyptians often shaved their heads, a practical and hygienic solution. Both men and women wore wigs, which were not only fashionable, but also protected the scalp from the sun. These wigs, made of human hair, wool, or plant fibers, could be treated with fragrant oils to maintain a pleasant scent and deter insects. This practice underscores how Egyptians balanced hygiene with aesthetics, making shaved heads and wigs a staple of their culture. Number 5. Human fly traps. Mosquitoes and flies have always been a nuisance, and ancient Egyptians had their own way of dealing with them. Pharaoh Pipi II, for example, would have slaves smeared with honey stand nearby to attract the insects away from him. This practice ensured the ruler remained comfortable and undisturbed by pests. Although extreme and seemingly cruel, it illustrated the lengths to which Egyptians went to protect their divine leaders. Flies also held symbolic meaning, representing persistence, which is why some soldiers were awarded medals in the shape of flies, symbolizing their endurance in battle. Number 6. Incestuous marriages. Incest was prevalent in the royal family of Egypt, seen as a way to preserve the purity of the royal bloodline and keep power within the family. Pharaohs were considered gods on earth, and inter-family marriages helped sustain this divine status. The tradition mirrored mythology, especially the relationship between Osiris and Isis, who were both siblings and spouses. A well-known example is Tutankhamun, the son of Akhenaten and his sister. While this custom reinforced legitimacy and continuity, it also led to genetic problems, as seen in the physical evidence found in mummified remains. Number 7. Beefilled vibrators. One of the more bizarre myths about Cleopatra suggests she used a vibrator made from a hollow gourd filled with bees. The rhythmic buzzing of the bees would cause the gourd to vibrate, providing pleasure. Although there is no concrete evidence of this practice, it reflects the Egyptians' innovative approach to personal comfort. Whether myth or reality, it showcases their ability to harness nature for unusual benefits, hinting at a playful yet sophisticated understanding of how to manipulate natural forces for their own needs. Number 8. Makeup. Containing. Lead. Makeup was an essential part of daily life in ancient Egypt, worn by both men and women. Eye makeup, known as kohl, was made from lead-based compounds. Although lead is toxic, Egyptians found that in small amounts, it could stimulate an immune response, protecting the eyes from common infections caused by dust and contaminated water. This dual purpose of aesthetics and health benefits explains why makeup was so popular. It was also believed to offer divine protection from evil, blending practical use with mystical symbolism. Number 9. Children without clothes. Until age 6. In ancient Egypt, young children often went without clothes until they reached the age of 6. This practice was a practical response to the harsh desert climate, allowing children to stay cool. Once they were old enough, they would wear light, simple clothing to shield them from the sun. Despite their lack of clothing, children often adorn themselves with jewelry, like anklets, bracelets, and necklaces, reflecting the social status of their families. This shows a practical yet culturally rich approach to child rearing, prioritizing comfort in a harsh environment. Number 10. Beer as a staple beverage. Beer was a crucial part of the Egyptian diet, enjoyed daily by people of all ages and social classes. With water from the Nile often being unsafe, beer provided a nutritious and reliable alternative, containing calories and nutrients. It was also integral to religious practices, offered to gods during festivals and rituals. Produced on a large scale, beer was a staple of the Egyptian economy, and workers were sometimes paid with it. This reveals the beverage's cultural and economic significance, making it an indispensable part of life in ancient Egypt. That's all for today's journey into the fascinating and bizarre world of ancient Egypt. If you enjoyed discovering these intriguing practices and want to learn more about the secrets of ancient civilizations, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest explorations. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time with more captivating stories from the past.